Welcome to the second Comcast, Summarizing 2, Breaking It Down. In this module, we'll be covering the following. I'll show you an example of a simple summary from an original text, then I'll go through the steps of summarizing. Take a minute, please. Pause the Comcast and read the original text. I've highlighted what I think are the most germane ideas in this text. King copied another student's work for his doctoral dissertation. Most academics agree that he borrowed for a number of his papers, and that the tone and ideas for his "I have a dream" speech weren't his either. And finally, the author puts plagiarism in perspective by telling his readers that he was still a great and wonderful man, and the plagiarism shouldn't take what he has done away from him in any way. So now I have collected the main ideas and rewritten it in my own words, and then citing it appropriately. Here are the 4 steps, simply, to summarizing. Read and understand the original text. Highlight the main points. Rewrite the main points. And cite the original author. The reading of the original text is perhaps the hardest part of the summarizing process, especially for a new university student. The vocabulary is often new and difficult, and students, when they are new to a subject, may not have the common knowledge of the field, so the basic terms and concepts are difficult to grasp quickly. Of course, the best thing to do about difficulties in reading is to read more. That way you will increase your vocabulary in the new field through contextual understanding. Here are a few things that can help your reading immediately. Look up words that you don't know. If you don't understand a key word, then you won't understand the meaning of the whole sentence. So have that dictionary, either an online dictionary or a paper one, handy. A specialized dictionary in your major is a great idea because it will save you time throughout your degree. Look for the writing patterns. Is the author trying to compare and contrast two things, or argue an issue, or just give information? In the Western culture, our learning systems process is for someone to put forth an argument and give evidence. Your ability to recognize the argument and judge the evidence is invaluable in every college of every North American university, so take time to learn how to be good at analyzing arguments. Another way of sorting out a reading is to make an outline of it. Deconstruct it. You had to do outlines in school to write your papers, so now make an outline to read other people's papers. Reading out loud helps some people understand a piece of literature better, as does reading it over at least twice. Highlight the text either with highlighters or a pencil, and write things in the margin that remind you how you relate to something, like Uncle Bernie's bankruptcy. This is called active reading, and the general consensus is that the more you actively interact with a piece of writing, the better retention you will have of it. You might think that the rewriting is the hardest part of summarizing, but actually the reading and understanding of the text is the hardest. Once you understand a passage of writing really well, you can summarize it fairly easily into your own words. Remember to look at your summary to make sure that you have only used the key words of the original text. You need to use a different paragraph and sentence structure as well. A final reminder is to try not to put a spin or bias on the summary. It should remain representative of the original author's views. Of course, you are going to cite the original source, because what you summarized wasn't your idea. You might also want to start on your bibliography as you go. Word for Windows has a great tool. Look for it under the Reference tab to help you with your bibliography. It's infuriating when you have a perfect quote in your paper and you have to take it out because you can't find the source you got it from. So, to review the steps in summarizing, first, read and understand the original text. Most of your time spent on writing a paper should be in reading. Highlight the main points and interact with the writing by writing in the margins. Rewrite in your own words. Check that your summary isn't written too closely to the original. Cite the author. This is the reference for this module. Thank you for listening and watching this Comcast on how to summarize.